When we talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's love story, people often imagine a fairy tale, a handsome prince, a brilliant American actress, and a whirlwind romance that captivated the world. But what many forget conveniently is that this fairy tale came with warnings, daggers, and threats long before there was ever a wedding gown, a baby announcement, or even a first royal engagement. And today, on the Sussex Insights, we're diving deeper than the tabloids, deeper than the sanitised royal biographies, deeper than the palace's carefully crafted PR lines into the real story. The story of how powerful men in Harry's own family tried to stop, discourage, or undermine his relationship with Meghan from the moment the engagement was announced, or even before. This is the truth behind Prince Philip's so-called warning, William's early concerns, the weaponisation of the British press, and the ongoing fallout that still shadows the Sussexes today. And trust me, when you see the full picture, it's not Harry and Meghan who come out looking reckless or naive. It's the monarchy itself. So settle in, because this isn't just another royal commentary. This is a forensic unpacking of the signs, signals, suspicions and slights that were brewing behind palace walls long before Harry ever slipped a ring on Meghan's finger. Let's begin. When Harry announced his engagement in 2017, the world rejoiced. But behind the scenes, there were raised eyebrows, hushed conversations, and one very old-school warning from Prince Philip. One steps out with actresses, one doesn't marry them. A line dripping with snobbery. The kind of remark that fits perfectly with Philip's well-known bluntness, yes. But it also reveals something deeper, the monarchy's entrenched prejudice about who is appropriate for the family. And let's be honest, the word actress in certain royal circles is a sanitised stand-in for something else. An American woman, a divorced woman, a self-made woman, a biracial woman. This wasn't a grandfather lovingly concerned. This was gatekeeping, the firm's version of know your place. But here's what's often ignored. Harry had already lived through what happens when the establishment treats a woman he loves as unsuitable. He saw what they did to Diana. He saw how the palace weaponized silence, allowed character assassinations, and stood back while the press shredded his mother's life. He saw what concerns from insiders really mean. So Philip's warning wasn't just rude, it was history threatening to repeat itself. And Harry, unlike most royals, didn't bow to it. In 2019, reports emerged that Prince William warned Harry to slow things down, to think carefully, to consider that things were moving too fast. But Spare made something very clear. William did not try to stop the marriage. According to Harry, he aired concerns. Concerns, a soft word hiding a hard truth. What William said early on is exactly what predicted the disaster that followed. This is going to be hard for you. Not because of Meghan, but because of the institution, because of the press, because of the machinery that protects one heir and sacrifices the spare. Even Harry admits he still doesn't fully understand what William meant, at least not in that moment. But in hindsight, it's painfully obvious. William knew. He knew exactly how brutal the press could be. He knew how the palace leaks, trades stories, and protects favourites. He knew how xenophobia, racism and misogyny simmered beneath the British establishment's polished exterior. They started. The concerns became real. The warnings became headlines. The predictions became a press onslaught, unlike anything the monarchy had ever orchestrated against one of its own. When Harry confronted William in 2019, during an argument that turned violent, yes, violent, William called Meghan difficult, Rude, abrasive. 3 words. 3 talking points straight from the British tabloids, the headlines that had been churned out for months, the whispered conversations from staffers loyal to other royal households, the tropes used to undermine powerful women, especially women of colour. Harry's response? That William was parroting the press narrative. This is crucial, because if William was repeating media lines, who fed the media those lines? We know the answer. Kensington Palace, courtiers, press secretaries who were more loyal to William and Kate than to the institution as a whole. Harry was right. William wasn't just expressing a personal view, he was echoing a coordinated narrative manufactured by the British press, designed to frame Meghan as an outsider, a disruptor, an enemy of tradition. And once William said those words aloud, the mask slipped. Harry saw exactly how deep the rot went. When Harry described seeing a red mist in William during their confrontation, it shocked the public, but not those who have studied the psychology of the heir-spare dynamic. William wasn't just angry. He was threatened. Threatened by Meghan's global popularity, threatened by the shift in public attention, threatened by Harry stepping out of the pre-assigned role of supporting character, and most of all, threatened by a woman he could not control or mould to fit the monarchy's expectations. Harry's interview with Anderson Cooper revealed the moment everything crystallised. He felt like his brother was coming for my wife. This wasn't a sibling squabble. This was the heir enforcing the hierarchy. And when hierarchy is threatened, the palace unleashes the machine. Meghan entered the royal family with the star power of a seasoned actress, the heart of a humanitarian, and the perspective of a modern global woman. That alone was enough to trigger the institution's insecurities. But add her biracial identity, her American background, her independence, her intelligence. The palace panicked. So what happened? They fed the press stories. Duchess difficult. Breaks royal protocol. Made Kate cry. Staff quitting in tears. None of it substantiated. Much of it disproven. All of it deliberate. Meghan wasn't just being criticised. She was being broken in. That's how the institution maintains control. It praises docility. It crushes difference. It punishes women who don't fit the mould. But Meghan didn't break. She spoke up. She pushed back. She refused to play the submissive royal wife role. And Harry? He refused to let history repeat itself. This is where everything changed. In 2021, Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties. The press called it shocking. The palace called it disappointing. Critics called it abandonment. But those who lived through the trauma saw it for what it was, a survival move. Harry had already lost one woman to the press. He wasn't about to lose another. Not Meghan, not his children, not his mental health. Monte Cristo wasn't a retreat, it was liberation. And the royal family hated that they couldn't stop it. Because a royal who chooses autonomy over duty is more dangerous than any scandal. A free royal exposes the cracks in the system. And Harry did just that. Looking back now, it all makes sense. Prince Philip's warning, William's concerns, the palace bureaucracy, the press campaigns, the physical altercations, the emotional warfare. They were all part of the same effort. Control the narrative, control the woman, control the spare, control the image of monarchy at any cost. But it failed, because Harry chose love over duty, truth over silence, growth over tradition. And he built a life where his family, not the monarchy, is the priority. Today, Harry and Meghan are raising 2 beautiful children in Montecito. Children free from the palace's emotional violence, its constant scrutiny, and its rigid hierarchy. Archie and Lilibet are growing up knowing love, not protocol. Stability, not institutional cruelty. Freedom, not fear. And that alone is a victory that overshadows every royal headline. When the history of this era is written, this is what will matter, not the tabloid noise, not the clickbait, not the palace PR. Harry broke a cycle. Meghan broke a system. Together, they challenged an institution that expected them to bow to outdated rules and silent suffering. The warnings from Philip, the concerns from William, the weaponized press, they were all signs of a monarchy unable to adapt to modern values. But Harry and Meghan did adapt. They evolved. They grew. They built something healthier, stronger, more human. This is the true story the palace never wanted told.